Hey YouTube, this is Steve from Average Joe's Fantasy Football, and we're going to start talking some mock drafts. Again, all of my mock drafts are going to be based off 12-man teams, full PPR, single quarterback type of rosters, okay? Obviously, if you're playing 2 QBs or super flex, tight end premium, there might be some changes in how you're going to draft in your upcoming redraft season. Again, try to keep it simple. Make it one quarterback, couple running backs, receivers, tight end, flex, and then again, not tight end premium, but full PPR. You could also consider half PPR in this format as far as drafting, but again, we'll make this simple. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys are subscribed and you hit that like button, and we're going to jump right into the mock draft. Now, this is the 101. Now, this is the 101 position in this mock draft, meaning we're going to have the 101 position. This is where it has been a little bit challenging for some. And what I mean by that is the 101 is really tough spot to do. You're most likely taking a running back if you draft traditionally. Now, there are the zero running back strategy, which I have a video out. If you guys haven't, make sure you guys check that out, to possibly go wide receivers. Because if you start looking at the 101, if you're looking at ADP like you see here, Justin Jefferson's starting to creep up in there. You're seeing Chase. It's a very unique spot. So I'm going to go into this as far as I believe is going to add some value in the 101 spot, and we'll talk about that. So let's start this up. 101. I am not going to go Justin Jefferson. I have gone back and forth with this. Now, I have not done my official redrafts yet in my league that I've been in with for over 10 years. So I have personally gone back. I don't know where I'm going to be in that one yet. But as of right now, I feel like I can get really good wide receivers in the 2-12 and 3-1 spot without sacrificing a really good running back. Running backs are always tough, right? You've got Christian McCaffrey, Eckler. You could even go Bijan. I'm starting to see him creep up. Barkley, Jonathan Taylor. I know people are nervous with the injury. I'm actually going to go Christian McCaffrey. If he stays healthy like he has shown, I understand it's not long, but if he stays healthy in this 49ers offense, there is without a doubt the reason why he should be the 1-1 in your draft. Because I still believe running backs are still the best way to go about in drafting. You may disagree. I get it. You can hit me in the comments of why I should go wide receiver like Jay Jetta or Jamar Chase. You let me know. Now, on the swing, you're starting to see quarterbacks. I don't traditionally go this high. I understand the value of these guys. These guys are super strong, sometimes a little too strong when it comes to like Jalen Hurts for his rushing ability, Josh Allen's rushing ability, to really give you a top tier quarterback. I still can get some value in the 4th and 5th round. So with the 2-12 and the 3-1, I'm looking at players that I feel I'm not going to have to be concerned with, right? You can go a player like Mark Andrews, who's been very consistent in PPR, and you're going to have a healthy Lamar Jackson, a very happy Lamar Jackson with weapons around that actually I think could help Mark Andrews. You got Josh Jacobs, again, running back, nothing wrong with that. Stevenson, Breece Hall, right? There's a lot of good players. You're looking at this, obviously a lot of the top tier wide receivers have really dropped quickly. And again, you can go after the wide receiver in that 1-1 spot. I'm still going to take a running back because they're so hard. You can find value in wide receivers. So for me, I'm actually going to stick with the running back spot. I'm going to go Josh Jacobs. I understand he's going through the holdout situation, just like Barkley. I am hoping, like most, and probably all you Raider fans out there, that he does come back and play because you're absolutely going to need him. Totally understand that. With that said, I still think he's a good value at the 2-12 swing. So now I've got Josh Jacobs and Christian McCaffrey to really shore up my running back spot. And then I'm going to go to Mark Andrews. I want a top tier tight end. Besides Travis Kelce, really who else is there, right? It's Travis Kelce, then Mark Andrews, and then everybody else. So I'm going to take those positions because, again, I can go after wide receivers a lot later in this draft and not be too concerned with the depth. So now you got your swing around. You've got obviously some really strong players. A lot of the running backs start to go through here again. Quarterbacks, another great tight end in TJ Hawkinson, who I absolutely love. Now I've got Lamar Jackson gone, Justin Fields. Now, had these two fallen, which I've seen fallen a few, then I would have gotten one of these two, add some depth. I would have loved to have paired up Lamar Jackson with Mark Andrews. That's always a great way to stack. Love that. But unfortunately, they didn't fall to me. And I'm looking at what I've got here. I'm not going to reach at quarterback quite yet because these guys are going to be falling for maybe another round or two. So for me, I'm actually going to go look at my wide receivers and maybe some backup and flex. So I like J.K. Dobbins a lot this season. I know obviously injury is a big thing. I like him there. And I like Drake London. Christian Watson has some big side, upside. But again, my concern with Christian Watson is really Jordan Love. We haven't quite seen him yet. For me, I'm actually going to go and grab another. Don't shoot me. I'm going to grab another running back because I think he's going to add some value. I'm actually going to risk it for the biscuit and go J.K. Dobbins because I think Dobbins has the ability with a healthy Lamar. If he's healthy, he's removed from his injuries. I know I'm pairing up some risk with the flex, but I got 3 really good running backs. And then on the swing here at the 5-1, I'm actually going to end up going Trevor Lawrence. I don't normally go quarterbacks this early, and that's okay, just because I love what Trevor Lawrence was able to do last season. Now you get a Ridley who is a top wide receiver, pairing him with a great Christian Kirk. Then you've got, I think a pass-heavy offense. I mean, let's be honest. That's a pass-heavy offense, and Trevor Lawrence showed a lot of great ability. He wasn't throwing interceptions like he was in the years past. I like what this is going to be for him. I'm super excited. I love that I was able to get Brandon Ayuk because I'm grabbing him right here. I love him in this spot, and I think a great value at the 6th spot in the 6th round for me. Again, I think he's going to be a great value. I like the idea of pairing Christian Kirk because I think he's going to be really strong. It's tempting to grab him there. I actually am going to go to the Deontay Johnson route. A lot of people are fading him this season. A lot of people are talking up. Obviously, you've got really the concern of Pickett, where he's at, right? Are they going to focus on Najee Harris, which I think they will. I know Najee's taken some hit with Jalen Warren. A lot of people kind of are concerned with that. But I actually think Deontay Johnson is going to be a fantastic spot. I know Pickens is there, and Pickens is great. I have Pickens a little bit higher in value when it comes to Dynasty. But as far as a redraft, I like Deontay Johnson, so I like the value here with that. Now, had I not taken Trevor Lawrence, which a part of me could have not, right? You got Tua, who is absolutely a top 10 quarterback, and I think even better as long as he stays healthy and keeps the concussion issue from happening. So that would have been a nice little play even here with him falling. Because again, you can get value are you kidding me? Getting Tua in the 8th round? Absolutely love that. You guys have to think about those type of things when you start doing these drafts. Mock drafts are the best thing to do before your big draft because it kind of gives you an idea of what the community is like. You're more than welcome to obviously jump on Sleeper. Sleeper, I think, has got a good one. Yahoo's got a pretty good one as well. So there's some really good websites to do some mock drafts. You can change your rosters. Now, on the 8th and 9th round, I'm looking at my roster, right? I've got most of my starting roster filled out. Now I've got to figure out depth, right? I've got to build a depth. I'm not going kicker right now. That is crazy. You can get a kicker later on. Trust me. So now it's about building depth and obviously filling in for bye weeks, right? You got to consider that. So I'm looking at these players here. I like Quentin Johnston, even though it's going to be the 3rd wide receiver, unless some injuries happen. So I do like him. He's more of a really a value pick if you can get him a little bit later. I think 8th round's a little high for me. I like Zay Flowers, opposite of Bateman, Odell Beckham Jr., but I don't want to add another wide receiver that is in a bye week situation with my tight end and running back. Doesn't affect me too much, but I'd rather just kind of steer away from that. Brian Robinson is another depth you can grab. I like him there a lot. There is obviously going to be a lot of value Gibson. I know the whole let's jump on the Gibson bandwagon still there, but again, I think he's still going to have some value. So takes away a little bit there. So for me, I'm looking at all of these options here. I'm going to go Brandon Cooks. I think him opposite of CeeDee Lamb in a really high-powered offense with a new offensive coordinator, obviously, mind you, with McCarthy. But I still like Brandon Cooks. A little bit of a homer for me, but I think he's going to add some significant value to Dak Prescott, that Dallas offense. He's a 1,000-yard receiver, and I really believe he can do that even in this offense. So as my 3rd receiver, maybe a flex play here and there, I'm going to take that value there. Another player I'm going to look at, you're looking at obviously backup tight ends because I've got obviously Mark Andrews. I've got to consider backing him up, and he's a bye week 13, so I got to look at some other bye weeks, right? You got bye week 5 and Njoku, who is a steal. Schultz possibly with Stroud there. So you got to consider those things. I don't want to overlap all of my bye weeks. A lot of people forget about those things, but those play a factor in your team. You've got to consider that. But I am not going to go Njoku, even though I love him here. I'm actually going to go and add some value at the running back position. I'm going to go with Khalil Herbert. Now, if you've watched any of my other videos, I'm not super high on him, but he's my 4th running back. And if he turns out to turn out really well, I know you've got Deontay Foreman, who I think is going to be the starting running back. I'll still take Khalil Herbert because he has value and he did really well and was successful last season. So again, I'm not hurting at grabbing him there. Now we're looking at, again, tight end, which you can take the risk with Dalton Kincaid as a rookie. Rookies don't usually do very well in fantasy, just so you guys are aware. That's just like a thing. They just don't. Besides Kyle Pitts, he's a whole nother thing. I like Dolchik actually a little bit better when it comes to where there's more consistency, and I feel a little bit more of I feel better about that situation. So I like him here as a nice little backup to my tight end. And again, he doesn't share the same bye week like Dalton Kincaid does. Again, I don't want to risk that. So I look at more depth. I like Allen Lazard with the Jets. I think he's going to stand out, especially opposite of Garrett Wilson, and obviously has that relationship with Aaron Rodgers. So I like him there. I can add a backup quarterback like Daniel Jones. I know a lot of people add some backup quarterbacks. Some might pick them up waivers throughout the season. There's nothing wrong with that. And we talk about that all season long about waivers. And then of course you got some running backs like Algier, who I love. You could obviously go wide receiver. I actually like the idea of picking up Tyler Algier. Only because Algier showed what he was able to do when he was the RB1. If for any crazy reason, hopefully it doesn't happen, but if Bijan goes down, you automatically have a RB1 top 12 type of performance that you can get out of a 5th running back on my roster. I'm absolutely taking him there. Now, if you guys think there's some other players I should have grabbed, again, hit me in the comments. Look at what I've got going on. You're more than welcome to hit me up there. Let me know what your strategy is as well, because I'd love to hear it. I'd love to see what people are doing out there in their mock drafts. Again, these are just ways for you to think about, because you're seeing how these rosters are playing out. Some people went quarterbacks late, some went early. You've seen all kinds of different strategies, which I think is really cool about all of this. Again, we're building depth. I've got a 10 bench. Some people have less. I just put it as 10 just to make it even, and obviously a lot of depth there because there are a lot of great options. When you're looking at obviously your depth here, Sky Moore's been really hyped up. You got Romeo Doubs, who's been hyped up. I like Tank Bigsby a lot. I really do. I like Roshan Johnson a lot. He's a stud that I think is going to eventually get some carries taken away from Herbert. But even Ezekiel, I know I could probably get him a little bit later in, I would say, the non-cube quarterback, computer draft thing, because I think his value is still a little high. Most of my friends that I draft with will not be taking Zeke probably at all. So again, he's not bad because again, he hasn't been signed. So you could probably get some value depending on when you're drafting. Again, Warren, Najee Harris goes down. Nice little RB1 right here. He's going to get a lot of touches. Zay Jones did really well, but now there's a little bit too many mouths to feed. So I look at all of this. I'm actually going to go with Romeo Doubs. I love the idea of him opposite of Christian Watson. And I think he showed some flashes last season, so I like him there a lot. And then I'm going to take Tank Bigsby. I think he's going to be a touchdown machine for the Jaguars, and I like him there a lot. So I'm going to take that. Look, he may never even touch the field, and I'm okay with that. He's a little bit of a depth piece. I can obviously drop him from some waivers later, but I think he's going to steal some touches from Etienne, and I think he's going to be the guy that's going to ruin most people's fantasies. So I apologize in advance if he does, but I like him there. So now, again, I'm looking, you're seeing some of the kickers start to go through. Get it, McPherson, Offs, Bass, right, Butker, some of the high-powered offenses that you're expecting, or teams like Koo, who's a great kicker, who's going to be on a team that might struggle scoring, so they're going to rely on their kicker a lot. So I like that pick there too. So again, I'm looking at depth. I'm not going to grab a kicker there. For me, I'm actually going to grab, and I like CJ Stroud. I'm a big fan of CJ Stroud, especially in my dynasty aspect, but Stroud is a quarterback too that could potentially show some flashes. Yeah, why not? Add him to my team. Give me some depth behind Trevor Lawrence, right? And again, he might have to fill in 1 week, and that's okay, right? I'm okay with that, with just 1 week of him filling in. Pickett's another option I like. I like him a lot. I think his offense is going to be really good, especially if I want to pair him with Deontay Johnson's nice little stack 1 week. So he's another one that I could have gone after. But again, I'm going to go risk it with CJ Stroud. I think that's going to be a good option. Now, looking at the rest of this, is all about depth. I've got a backup tight end. I've got some good running backs. I like DJ Chark for the Carolina Panthers. I like Hyatt a lot. Chase Brown is a nice one, especially if Joe Mixon goes down, or who knows. Obviously, there's still the legality issues that are going on. Chase Brown shows some flashes in college, had a great combine when it comes to that. So he's a nice little pickup there, and I'll take it. I'll take a nice little backup there. I think with his ability, and again, with that explosive offense, if he were to ever have to step in, I think he'll ease right in really easily and give you some value. Now, I've got 3 picks left. Obviously, 2 more depth pieces, and obviously I got a kicker. I am not going to make my kicker the last pick. I promise you guys, he's not going to be Mr. Irrelevant. I will get a kicker in these picks before that. When you look at kickers, you look at teams that are going to score or teams that can get down the field but have some struggles, right? Like maybe they can't quite score. I actually like the Chargers kicker. I'm going to go after him because they do score. They go down the field. I like what this offense is going to do. Kellen Moore did a great job for Dallas. I think he can continue that with Justin Herbert. I know there's going to be some health issues with the receivers, and hopefully they all stay healthy, but I like Dicker there. And again, I think he's going to be a nice one. I'm actually going to go Wan'Dale Robinson. I like him here. I like what he's going to be able to bring to the Giants. He showed flashes last year before his injuries. I think he's only going to help out with this Giants team. So I'll take him as a nice little backup there. And again, one last pick, Mr. Irrelevant. We're looking through all these. You're going to see a lot of these receivers going through. As you see, wide receiver. I totally get that. They're going to all drop in. I'm really kind of sad to see Kenny Pickett not make a team. I really thought he was going to be signed. So looking at all of this, Robert Woods, maybe. Tank Dell, love, right? He's a nice little sleeper here. I'm actually going to go Josh Downs. I think his ability and what he's able to do. I know there's obviously the knee concern. I know I want to bring that up because that's something that people had some questions about, but I'm going to take it. Get Josh Downs as my Mr. Irrelevant. So that is the mock draft for the 101 position. If you guys do think there are some other strategies that you would implement instead of what I just did, hit me up in the comments down below. Let me know. Or if there were some players you saw on my board that I didn't go after and you just argue with me, let me know why you would have gone somebody else. If you guys did enjoy the content, make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel and your notifications are on. That way you guys are notified when we drop more videos like this. We'll be dropping rankings real soon. We'll be doing our redraft rankings. Check out that 0 running back strategy if you guys are tempted to do that this season. And if you guys are Dynasty, make sure you check out our Dynasty tab. We'll help you guys out with that as well. All right, subscribe, like, and I'll check you guys out next time.